I am Jitendra Patel from Strayer University. Today my topic is about Zachman framework. It's a logical structure intended to provide a comprehensive representation of information technology enterprise. It allows multiple perspective and categorization of business artifacts. The brainchild of John Zachman, who conceived the idea in 1987. The full technical name is Zachman Framework for Enterprise Architecture and Information System Architecture. The Zachman framework gathers and refines principles from the older methods. It has a structure independent of the tools and methods used in any particular IT business. The framework defines how perspectives are related according to certain rules or abstractions. A framework takes the form of a 36 cells table with 6 rows. That's scope, business model, system model, technology model, components and working systems, and 6 columns: who, what, when, where, why and how. The Zachman framework is seen by some business manager has an ideal set of rules for management of complex and evolving IT enterprises. There are 6 rows and 6 columns. The first column, the what or the data column. The row 1 is a list of things important to the business. This is simply a list of things that enterprise is interested in. The second row is about a semantic model. This is a model of actual enterprise things, object, assets that are significant to an enterprise. It typically would be represented as an ER type model and would be a level of definition that would express concept used in a significant business objective strategies that would later be implemented as business rules. The third row is a logical data model. This model of logical representation of things of the enterprise about which it records information. It would be represented as a fully attributed, keyed, normalized ER-type model reflecting the intent of semantic model. Physical data model. This is a technology constraints or physical representation of things of enterprise. The representation style of this model would depend on the technology chosen for implementation. The fifth row is data definition. The list of processes the business performs. This is simply a list of processes that enterprise performs. The universe of discourse related to process. The business process model. The second row is the business process model. This is a model of actual business process that enterprise performs, quite independent of any systems or implementations, considerations and any organization's constraints. Application architecture. This is a model of logical systems implementation supporting the business process and would express the human-machine boundaries. The fourth row is system design. Technically this would not be considered as a model but a design, as you would no longer be able to see the enterprise in its representations. At a high level of abstraction, it would be a structure chart and in its detail action diagram style express that would constitute the implementation of logical systems. Fourth row, programs. This would be a program that derived from action diagram styles or object style specification for implementation. Column 3, the where or network column. Row 1, list of location in which the business operates. This is simply a list of location in which the enterprise operates or relates to the universe of discourse related to locations. Row 2, the business logistics systems. This is a model of location of enterprise and their connections, whether the connection are voice, data, post, rail, truck or ship. Row 3 is distributed system architecture. This is a logical model of the system implementations of the business logical system depicting the types of system facilities and controlling software at the nodes and the lines. Technological architecture, that's row 4. This is a physical depictions of a technology environment for enterprise showing the actual hardware and the system software at the nodes and the lines and their system softwares including operating systems and the middleware. Row 5, it's network architecture. This is a specific definition of the node's address and the line identifications. Column 4, the who or the people column. Row 1, the organization important to the business. This is simply a list of organizations to which the enterprise assigns responsibility for work. The universe of discourse relative to people. Workflow model. This is a model of the actual enterprise allocation of responsibility and specifications of the work products. Typically, an organization chart expresses the allocations of responsibility, but other supporting document describes the work product. Row 3 is human interface architecture. This is a logical system expression of workflow which would include the specifications of roles of the responsibility parties, including management, administration, knowledge workers, engineer, marketing, etc., as well as the logical specification of the work product like voice, graphics, text, videos, etc. Presentation architecture. This is a physical expression of workflow of enterprise, including the specific individuals and their ergonomics requirements and representation formats of the work product. Row 5 is security architecture. The out-of-context specification of the workflow would be identification of the individual accessing the systems and the specification of the work or the job they were authorized to initiate. Column 5, the when column. List of events significant to the business. This is simply a list of events to which the enterprise responds. It is probably advocate that this list is fairly high level of aggregation. Master schedule. This is a model of business cycle that is comprised of initiating events and elapsed time. There are two typical notations for expressing points in time and length of time. That's a PERT chart, it's PERT, type chart, and SCENG, SCENG chart. The only identifying sequence or relatively time, they only identify the time relative to that period. Processing structure is the row 3, the processing structure. This is a logical system specification of points in time and length of time. This model describes the system events that triggers the state of transitions from one valid state to another, the dynamics of the transition cycle. Row 5 is control structure. This is a physical expression of system events and physical processing cycles expressed as a control structure, passing control from one to another processing modules. Row 5 is timing definitions. This is a definition of interrupts and the machine cycles. The why column. List of business goals. This is a very important thing. This is simply a list of major business goals that are significant to an enterprise and defines universe of discourse related to motivations. It defines the scope, boundaries, and the models of goals that are embraced by the enterprise and found in the constructs of rows 2.3. The business plan, row 2. It's a model of a business objectives and strategies of an enterprise that constitute the motivation behind the enterprise operations and decisions. Although there has been a considerable focus on management theory in academia, there is no commonly accepted notation for the motivations concepts at the present time. Row 3, business rule. It is a logical model of business rules of enterprise in terms of their intent and then constraints. There are no commonly accepted notations exist at the present time for the business rules. Row 4 is a rule design. This is a physical specification of the business rules. The rules are not presently factored out from their implementation and therefore are found as cardinality and optionality in the data models. Row 5, rule specification. It's an out of context specification for the business rules. So Zachman's framework is not a methodology, it's an ontology. it shows how to perform the method. That's it for the day. Bye.